We go ahead and begin. Welcome to everyone who is joining us today. This is a very special program, and we're very pleased to have past RI President Shekhar Mehta joining us today. I'm Carolyn Johnson. I am the Chair Emeritus of BELRAG, and we will get on with the program here. There we go. Please note that the webinar is being recorded. You should be muted, but if you're not, please make sure that your microphone is muted. You can use the chat to introduce yourself or make comments as we're going through, and use the question and answer for putting in any questions that you'd like to have answered at the end of the program. There's also a react icon, and you're welcome to use that as well. And I will turn it over at this point to Nancy Leonard, our president of BELRAG, to talk a little bit about BELRAG.
Greetings, everyone. We're so glad that you're able to join us today. Just to give you a little bit about BELRAG, we were formed in 2011. And our mission and goals basically are to increase the awareness of illiteracy and its impact on quality of life, to create awareness about literacy and education, to strengthen our communities, to assist Rotarians in increasing scale and effectiveness of education and literacy projects, and to collaborate with Rotarians and communities to establish partnerships for projects. We serve in we work within a number of different areas, as you can see on the screen, such as early childhood education, girls' education, adult literacy, language learning, technology, and professional development for teachers. And so we support clubs and districts in developing grants in any one of these areas to support basic education literacy. If you're a member of BELRAG, thank you. If you're not, it's easy to join. Visit our website at belrag.org. And up in the top right-hand corner is a join sign button. Membership is $25 a year, or 5 years for $100. Rotaractors can join for $10 a year. And then we also have club and district memberships as well. And so when you apply on the application, it shows you what all those different options are and what the costs are. So we invite you to join BELRAG. We put out a monthly newsletter. We put on webinars such as the one today, and we support clubs and districts. And so thank you so much for being here. And now I'd like to turn it over to Anu to introduce our distinguished speaker today.
Thank you, Nancy. It is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce past Rotary International President Shekhar Mehta ji, who is only the 4th Indian to become the president of Rotary International in the year 2021-22. Shekhar ji has the unique distinction of having earned a master's in commerce and is a qualified chartered accountant, cost accountant, and company secretary. Shekhar ji is a member of many professional, cultural, and charitable organizations. Shekhar ji has served as a trustee of Shelter Box in the UK, one of the premier organizations for disaster management, and is the chairman of Operation Eyesight India, a Canada-based organization. Shekhar ji joined Rotary in 1985 and served as district governor in the year 1999 to 2000. He was elevated to the board of directors of Rotary International in the years 2011 to 2013. He has helped Rotary add 2 countries to its fold, Bhutan and Maldives. Shekhar ji is the chairman of India Humanity Foundation, Eastern India Rotary Welfare Trust, Rotary Rural Area, Rotary Vivekananda School, that is imparting education to hundreds of marginalized children in the rural area of City of Joy, Kolkata. I will always be grateful for the enduring moments that I spent with those adorable children and their teachers last year in February. during my India trip with the Zone 33-34 polio immunization team. And all of you must have seen that adorable picture in the flyer for this event. Keenly dedicated to selfless service and to the motto of service above self and serve to change lives that Shekharji gave to Rotary during his term as RI president. Shekharji has led many major service initiatives in India and South Asia, some of which are as follows. Construction of 500 homes for tsunami survivors at Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Shekharji personally visited the remote islands 7 times from Kolkata to ensure construction and also did the fundraising. Laying the foundation of the shelter kit program in India that has served about 20 disaster zones, distributing more than 20,000 shelter kits for helping 100,000 disaster victims. Starting the Little Hearts program, my favorite, a pediatric heart surgery program which has led to 2,500 heart surgeries for children from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Uganda, Ethiopia, Afghanistan, and Nigeria. Again, I will be forever grateful for the honor of having visited some of those hospitals and meeting with the patients and their families. And those hospitals are continuing to save precious lives in Kolkata. And goes back to my trip to Kolkata when I visited those hospitals, and it's the most amazing experience of my life as a Rotarian. Shekharji has conceptualized the nationwide Teach a Literacy program in India, which has reached out to more than 50,000 schools and millions of children through the e-Vidya television channel initiatives of the Government of India and the Prime Minister of India. Shekharji's mission now is to make India totally literate with the Padho Bharat or Read India initiative and the India Literacy Mission in alliance with the state and central government of India. Shekharji has been instrumental in setting up more than 15 eye hospitals across India, which are implementing nearly 50,000 eye surgeries every year. Shekharji has responded to the call made by the Government of India to help set up 7,000 rural toilets, benefiting more than 35,000 people. The Prime Minister of India, Shri Modi ji, and various cabinet ministers have applauded these mega initiatives of Rotary in India. In his role as the Rotary International President in the year 2021-22, Shekharji has been an outstanding ambassador of Rotary by visiting 42 countries in 46 weeks, meeting more than 30 presidents, prime ministers, several ministers, and ambassadors for offering development initiatives to all of these countries for literacy, health, environment, and many other areas. Shekharji is a recipient of the highest level of awards of Rotary International and the Service Above Self Award, the Meritorious Service Award, and the Distinguished Service Award. Shekharji has also received the Mahatma Gandhi Award for the Global Social Impact, the World Peace Icon Award in 2022, and has earned an honorary doctorate for his work in literacy. Shekharji's guiding mantra in life is, service is the rent we pay for the space we occupy on this earth. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming our keynote speaker for today, past Rotary International President, Shekharji. Over to you, Shekharji.
Thank you so much, Anu. Thank you very much, and namaste to everyone. Good to see you, Carolyn, Nancy, and I'm delighted. I don't know how many of you are there because I cannot see all of you on the screen, but a very good day to everyone. People have joined from different parts of the world, I'm sure, and different time zones. Anu, once again, thank you so much for inviting me. On 2 topics put together, which are very close to my heart. Literacy education, as well as girls' empowerment. And you've so beautifully captured it by saying girls' education as a tool of community empowerment and economic development. I mean, the moment I saw the topic, there were hundreds and hundreds of images that came across my mind, especially as you all may be aware and some may not be, that when I had the honor of serving as the president of Rotary International in the year 21-22, one of the key priorities, in fact, was empowering girls. It was very simple, yet I think very profound. Why? Because empowering girls, to me, is not just a social initiative. It's not charity. It's not even an education program alone, but it is one of the most powerful strategies of transforming communities and strengthening economies. A simple truth is that when you empower a girl, you're not just changing her life. You are impacting the entire community by impacting her family, then the community. And in fact, when so many of the girls are empowered, a nation itself gets empowered. Girls' education becomes a force multiplier. It brings dignity, development, economic growth. Let's see what the global reality, first of all, is. Despite all the progress that we have made in the world, there remains a major global challenge when it comes to empowering girls or educating them. According to UNESCO, the last figures were that 133 million girls had dropped out of school. Let's just pause on this number for a moment. These are not just 133 million girls who dropped out. They are 133 million dreams that have been deferred. These are 133 million future leaders who got delayed in their lives. But at the same time, it's not so dismal. There is hope also. Since 2015, more than 50 million girls have entered schools worldwide, which means if we determine to do something, we definitely can do. However, despite so many girls having got admitted, the progress is uneven. Poverty, child marriage, safety concerns, lack of facilities, school dropouts, cultural norms, they are still preventing girls from going to school. And here is what Rotarians need to ask. And I'm so happy for the work that Belrag is doing. My compliments to all of you, Carolyn, for the torch that you have lit. It's become a flame, and Nancy, Anu, and so many across the world have now carried the torch and are doing a great job. Because if not us, who? So I remember this girl was dropping out of school when my club, Rotary Calcutta Mahanagar, decided to provide scholarship to the girl. Her name was Sushmita. I still remember different members in the club adopt different girl child under the program UDAN, which means taking off on your flight of life. We sponsored this girl, Sushmita. She was the daughter of a tea vendor. Roadside tea vending stall is what he had. And we ensured that she studied up to class 10, and then she got admitted into college. I remember going about 200 kilometers away to get her admitted into the college. And then she became a pharmacist. And she not only started earning herself, ensured that her brothers studied, and ultimately the family earned so much money that they did not have to be in the tea vending business. So that is how lives can change if just one scholarship is provided to a girl. There are places where, because there are no separate toilets for girls, girls have to drop out of school. And we know around the world, Rotary has put up thousands and thousands of toilets under the WINS program, Wash in School program. What an outstanding program it was. Because installing sanitation facilities and providing menstrual health education, it not just ensures the girl to come back, they start a new life altogether because they have become educated. They are not only able to live a life for themselves, but for their family. And at times, they are able to empower the community itself. When we speak of girls as education, we are speaking about empowering at multiple levels. For example, health and well being, leadership itself. Uh, let's see, educated girls, when it comes to health, they understand nutrition better, they understand healthcare better, they protect their children better. In those countries where the girls are educated, the maternal and infant mortality rate comes down, family health improves. Education, in fact, becomes prevention. That is the huge impact it has when it comes to healthcare. Let's look at social stability. Girls who remain in schools are more likely to be married late. So there will be less teenage brides. Their health is going to be better. The children who are born will be more stronger. They'll have better nutrition. UNICEF says that of the 640 million women alive today were married before the age of 18. And every year, 12 million girls become child brides. Education delays marriage. Education protects childhood. In fact, it gives you the power of choice. The choice whether she wants to get married now, whether she wants to have a child now or not. Education also gives you leadership opportunity. I mean, imagine a girl when educated, she becomes a confident voice. She becomes a teacher, an entrepreneur, community organizer, a politician, policymaker, bureaucrat. She raises the aspiration of others too. And we see so many women, they become inspiration for others. When girls rise, communities rise. Education, let's look at education as economic development. What does it do for economic development? The World Bank estimates that when each additional year of schooling by a girl increases her ability to earn by 10%, the impact is in trillions globally. It's in trillions globally. And that is part of our topic today, education as a tool of community empowerment, which we discussed, and economic development. At times we ignore the economic development part, but let me tell you, it is so very important. This is not symbolic empowerment. This is measurable economic growth that we are talking of. Educated women, they participate in the workforce. They can start small businesses. They start employing other people. They at times strengthen the supply chain. They increase the household earning. And suddenly there is double earning in the family. They start then investing into the education of their children. Like they say, educate a mother and you educate a family. This creates a multiplier effect, absolutely. When a woman earns, the family invests. When the family invests, communities grow. And when the communities grow, a nation prospers. That is the power of educating a girl. A girl's education is one of the highest returns on investment available to us. And it's our duty for each of us to invest in this. Let me give you another story. This girl in a small town village, she got a scholarship. She completed her school, she trained in digital literacy and accounting, and today she runs a small enterprise of her own, employing 5 other girls and sustaining her family. 1 scholarship, 5 jobs, a cycle reversed absolutely. This is economic development powered by education. So friends, they are linked. And Rotary, my friends, has a unique role, and I'm so happy Belrag is playing its role so very well. We are unique because we are local, we are global, and we are trusted. Across the world, Rotarians are building separate toilets, sanitation facilities in schools. They are doing programs for menstrual hygiene management. Again, right now, with a global grant, my own Rotary Club, Calcutta Mahanagar, with a club in the US, Rotarian from there who visited, and Madhav is going to be again here on the 28th. We are providing reusable sanitary pads to 21,000 girls, which will ensure that for the next 2 years, they will not have to buy sanitary pads in an area where there are no facilities for them to buy sanitary pads. One global grant will ensure this for 21,000. Imagine 50 global grants around the world is not difficult. Africa needs it in every country. South Asia needs it. Bangladesh needs it. Pakistan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, all of us need. Again, what are the Rotarians doing? Providing scholarships, supporting digital literacy, offering vocational training. Advocating is also so very important. Not only advocating the use of sanitary pads or understanding their own protection, late marriage, not to have teenage pregnancies, advocating against child marriage, partnering with governments and the NGOs. Through the Belrag Action Group, we share best practices, scale solutions, and amplify the impact. Once again, a round of applause for all the people who work for Belrag. It is a great service that you're doing, let me tell you. If you educate, it takes care of so many other ills of the society. When you educate, you are giving them democratic power. You are making them understand issues much better. You are letting them earn. The economic development is there. And above all, there is dignity. So, during 21-22, when we placed empowering girls at the center of Rotary's global focus, we saw extraordinary engagement. I went to 46 countries, 40 countries in 46 weeks. And in more than 50% of those countries, I saw programs and projects on empowering girls. When I entered with the incoming president, Yinka Babalola, he took me around in Nigeria. He took me to his own city, and that's where he took us to a room where there were at least 200 girls stitching sanitary pads. Rashi sat down with them stitching pads herself, and that sight had to be seen. They would not only stitch those pads, they would also go and sell them. Imagine, empowerment comes through that, economic development comes through them, because it is reusable sanitary pads. It is taking care of the environment also. It is sustainable. What a wonderful project it was. And I saw that happening so many places. In my own district, the district governor here, he ensured a program called Virangana, which is about self-defense. Low-cost program, but very effective. So clubs did some amazing projects. I remember rainwater tanks in Uganda. Rotary partnered to install rainwater harvesting systems in schools. This simple intervention ensured water availability throughout the year and sanitation facilities for menstrual hygiene. Now the attendance of the girls improved significantly. But look at it. What is a water tank? It is basically infrastructure. But in reality, it is dignity. It is attendance. It is confidence. It is the difference between dropout and graduation. So what must we do now? My dear friends, empowering girls, I'm so happy, was not just a one-year emphasis. And I must compliment all the RI presidents after me who have taken this to be a program. And I keep meeting people across the world who say, I'm an ambassador for empowering girls. I'm so happy I'm doing this, I'm doing that for the girls. Well, friends, it cannot be a one-year emphasis, and I'm so happy it is not. It is a long-term commitment. I always say girls are half the world, and they should have half the opportunities. Till we reach that place, we will have to keep empowering girls. Let us suggest some actionable commitments for Rotarians everywhere. Let's say some of the things that we could do is adopt the stay in school framework. So what will this mean? Separate toilets for girls, clean water, menstrual hygiene support, safe environment, safety for them. Support during their transitional years. So many girls, they drop out during the higher secondary, during the secondary school time. This is when we need to support them, to bridge. That's very, very important. We need to measure outcomes. We need to track attendance. We need to track their retention in school. We need to see their grade progression. We need to see that they participate in the leadership from the very school time itself. We need to see what are the economic outcomes of the people that we may have given skill. We may have provided them vocational training. Let us move from activities to impact. And that's what the global grants also tell us. That's what Rotary Foundation also tells us. So, my dear fellow Rotarians and the others who may be on this group, if there are two things extremely, extremely important, I feel. One is literacy and education. You are empowering a person, giving dignity to that person when you, and I gave you those examples, and there are hundreds and thousands of examples because I spend a major part of my day working on education and literacy. And of course, when it comes to education and literacy, the major part of that goes towards the girl child. Because when it comes to dropout rates, when it comes to children who have not gone to school, it is the girls who are suffering the most. And as I mentioned before in my speech, when you empower the girl, in the long-term impact, you are empowering a nation. Any nation who's truly empowered, you go and see the girls there are just as empowered as the boys are. So fellow Rotarians, technology will shape the future. Infrastructure will strengthen nations. Capital will fund progress. But the most powerful force for transformation remains the educated girl. When we empower girls, we reduce poverty, we improve health, we strengthen economies, we build peace. And above all, friends, we uphold dignity, which to me is one of the most important things in anybody's life. I remember and it's not just about child education, it's about empowering women at any age. I work a lot on adult education. And I remember my friend Sandeep Agarwala from Rotary Club of Bombay. The Rotary Club of Bombay was organizing this program of educating women, and 60,000 women were educated. These were all adults who unfortunately did not go to school. And then they had a graduation ceremony. Imagine, they were only passing out grade 3 level, but they organized a graduation ceremony 4 hours away. I remember going there, and some of the beneficiaries were asked to come up on stage. And this lady, she went up and said, till now, I had to put a thumb impression when I went to the bank. This time when I went to the bank to withdraw cash, the banker put the stamp pad in front of me so that I could put the thumb impression. I pushed aside the stamp pad. I picked up the pen. I signed. I have power. And that's how she held her fist. And that sign, that one scene has been etched in my memory. This is what it means to that woman. Even at the age of 55, she felt empowered. She felt a sense of dignity. And what did it cost us? 60 sessions, 60 lessons, and just $7 to make a person educated. That's all it took. That person who was illiterate, could not even sign her name, was today able to read signage. She was able to read, write, and do simple arithmetic. So friends, let Rotary continue to lead, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Let us ensure that no girl's potential is limited by circumstances. No. We cannot accept that. Let us renew our promise, because empowering girls is not simply about education. It is about justice. It is about prosperity. It is about the future of our world. And as I said, women, girls are half the humanity, and they should have equal opportunity. Together, let's empower girls and see that empower girls ensure that they become tools of community empowerment and economic development. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Just really appreciate your comments here this morning today. A lot of reactions you can see. I hope you can see going up on the side. Very positive responses, which is terrific. If people have questions, specific questions that you would like to ask, please put them in the Q&A box. We do have one comment. Says empowering girls is now no less urgent than admitting women to Rotary was in the 1980s. Every woman in Rotary was once a girl. Empowering girls is an investment in Rotary's future, which is so true.
So well said. Very well said.
Very well said. Could you talk a few minutes just about some projects that you have seen or some initiatives that you have seen that are particularly promising that you might recommend?
Yeah. So one is skilling women. I think skill development is extremely important because, like they say, don't give a fish, ask them to learn how to fish. If we skill them, I think they get empowered. So skill development or their vocational training, this is an excellent program. In fact, the investment that you make in them, let's say in India, it costs 4,000 rupees, which is not even, what would it be, $50? So if it is $50, I would say once they start earning, they can repay this money back to you. And it can be a revolving program so that they have a sense of dignity that, yes, it was a loan given to us and we have repaid the loan. I have dignity. I was given a skill. I was made to learn something to be able to earn. That's one. Secondly, in areas where the safety of women is an issue, and in lots of parts of the world, it is an issue. A simple program of women's safety, martial arts program, a training for a month can at least help them save. Every day you read newspapers across the world and there are cases of rape, molestation. If that is the last resort for a girl, she should resort to it. She should try to defend herself, and it doesn't cost to do that. A club could very easily get a trained martial art person, and even if it takes 1 month, and I can tell you, I've gone to places and I've seen these programs, and I asked that girl, can you just throw me, if I'm trying to hold you, can you just throw me? And she was confident. She said, yes, I can. I didn't ask her to, but that's what is important. She needs to have that confidence that, yes, she can save herself. The menstrual hygiene project, it's extremely, extremely important. In the developed world, at times we do not even understand what the plight of women is. I would say about 60 to 70 kilometers away from where I'm sitting now, India is ebony and ivory. We are going to the moon. We are doing everything that this nation needs to do. But the population is so huge. The country is so vast. There are still needs where people need to understand the use of correct sanitary pads and preferably the reusable ones. That's again a program. It just took us one global grant for my club, Rotary Calcutta Mahanagar, just one global grant, and 21,000 girls for 2 years will not have to use rags or leaves or even grass during those periods. And they will be confident going to their schools, etc. Ensuring toilets. Fortunately, we had this program by our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, who ensured that every school has a toilet and a toilet for the girl. So the school dropout because of this definitely has come down. But there are other parts of the world where there is still this problem. Different parts of Africa, there is this problem. Other parts of the world, there is this issue. We need to do the WINS program, going to schools and ensuring that there is proper sanitary facility for the girl. Again, cervical cancer, that's a program. I mean, the second biggest killer in cancer itself, doing a global grant, and 5,000 girls have got that vaccine. It is ensuring that this girl will probably not have cervical cancer. Again, thalassemia is another program which my Rotary district is working so hard towards. That's a program which affects both the male and the female both. But the female, when they get married and they have a thalassemia baby, it affects the woman the most. The child definitely, but the mother definitely also along with it. So that's another program. So, I mean, if we look around, the needs are so many. Scholarships. I just gave you an example of that one girl, Sushmita, how it changed. And my club itself has done over a few thousand scholarships around the world. And Rotary is champion when it comes to scholarships. We've done those ambassadorial scholarships and we've done other programs of scholarships in the past. Today we do the Peace Scholars. So there is abundance of programs, Carolyn. We just have to look around, find the need. And I would urge Rotarians who are in countries like the USA, Europe, Australia, you please come forward and join hands for global grants. If you want to do service, where would you do service? Out of 10 global grants that happen, probably one would happen in the US. One would happen in Europe. None in Japan, maybe. All of these countries we are one whole world, one family. We need to come together. We have to have faith. Fund the global grants. When the projects happen, Zoom is there, webinars. I mean, go see the girls getting empowered. So Raghavan, this Rotarian from the US, he's from Richmond, I think, that area. He's coming back here just to see the program and the project. Nancy Barbie, my friend, who keeps coming here. Just last week, she got 15 Rotarians. There was another group of 12 people, 27 Rotarians from different parts of the world, from UK, US. They came here to give polio drops and see various programs and projects. So it's very important that these webinars, we should have some takeaway definitely from it. And my takeaway would be, we have understood what the problems are. We've understood what projects. I'm happy, Carolyn, you asked me that. What are the programs that can be done? I've enumerated the programs. Now all we need to do is come together, have global grants, and start implementing them in Africa, in South America, in Asia.
Exactly. And I think you make an excellent point. If folks want to get involved, and that's one of the questions that was on the screen here about how do we get our districts and our clubs involved. And a big piece of that is going and visiting and forming relationships with Rotarians in different parts of the world, forming relationships so that we have strong partners that we can work with, so that we can really have discussions about what are the needs of the communities. And as Nancy does, bring someone with you. Come and see what's needed and come and see what's possible. It's excellent.
And I can help you becoming the matchmaker. You want to do a project in Africa? I still have my connect with all the district governors who are governors with me. We have a group. I can put you on to any country in Africa, at least 25, 30 of them. The incoming president would be very happy seeing the work happening in Africa. He would be very happy anywhere in the world, but definitely his heart will be a little more in Africa. And why not? Should
Yep.
be, if you wanted to do anything in South Asia, Asia, you can just write to me. I will put you on to the correct people who you can have faith in doing programs, who will execute the program perfectly. Absolutely.
You are very kind, and I know that you mean that promise, that you stand behind that promise, that you will make those connections. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure. Sure.
A question here about changing attitudes and behaviors around girls' education and how Rotary members might improve the policies and investments through Rotary engagement. How do we begin to change policy? It's not just it is the pieces on the ground, but it's also looking to affect a larger impact. How might we do that?
So, Karen, if by policies they are trying to mean the government policies, if they are trying to mean,
Exactly.
I think what needs to be done is I always feel let's first do the work ourselves. When I have shown the sample work, the government will listen to us. Look at the polio case. We did a pilot. We started working. We had a plan. We had the goals. We had the plan. We knew what exactly needs to be done. And the government after government partners joined us. And it will be very important, whatever program you want to take up, get 2, 3 other partners. Then our voice becomes stronger. It's not just Rotary's voice alone, it is other organizations all put together. When you can show some good work, policies will change. When you can, let's say, go and do cervical cancer vaccines and then go and tell the government and show them the data figures, why would the government not want that all their girls of vaccinable age are vaccinated and they become all right? Same thing, the government would sponsor it. Probably our government very soon will ensure that this vaccine becomes freely available. So I've always felt we need to do the program ourselves first. Again, I'm doing the same thing when it comes to empowering girls through adult education. Now, we have a huge backlog. 200 million adult illiterate are in our country. Every third adult illiterate in the world is in our country. But I said, okay, we've already gone to 500,000 girls and males, of which 80% are females. 500,000 have already been made literate. And the day we complete 1 million, I'll go back to the Prime Minister and request him, just as we had a totally clean India program, we need to have a totally literate program. And I'm sure once the Prime Minister makes that announcement, the corporates will come together, the bureaucracy will come together, and soon enough. But before going, I did mention to him, but I think I'll be more confident. The moment I touch the 1 million mark, I'll be able to go and tell him, and he'll be able to listen. So if we want changes in the policies, we need to do our job first, and then we can go.
Which is a great promotion of our programs of scale projects. We
Absolutely.
start small, we replicate them, we show success, we collect data, which we are becoming better at. And there's a comment here from my friend Naveen, who is involved with the cervical cancer program in Egypt and the programs of scale for cervical cancer. It's a great example of starting small, building, and then we can really do something significant. And I know they're making a difference with their government policies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more question, and then I think we'll wrap it up here. There's a question about yes, we need to empower girls, but it's providing education for both girls and boys, and we've talked about gender equity. What about making sure that boys are well educated as well?
So any data anywhere in the world, you will find it's a bit lopsided. It is always the girl because of, at times, social barriers, because of those early marriages, teenage pregnancies, etc. It is the girls who are suffering more. I never say that we do not need to educate or not give focus on the men. I gave that example of the adult education program that when we go to the villages, we go to the entire village. But when it comes to the classrooms, we find 80% of the women who have come. Two reasons. A, the men probably have gone off to work because those are societies where the girls are not necessarily working. And if they are working, somehow they had become illiterate. They have not because of social reasons, they had not been sent. I am totally for boys also just to be educated as the girls are. I don't want 20 years from now, we are at a webinar which says empowering boys.
There you go. There you
We
go.
want gender equity, absolutely. As I said, they are equal the numbers, they should be having equal the opportunities.
There are many, many comments here about empowering women, addressing the issues of violence against women. One of the comments I would take away from what you have shared this morning is, yes, there's girls' education, but it extends into so many other areas, whether it's healthcare with cervical cancer, whether it's working with the human trafficking action groups, the human trafficking Rotary clubs that have been developed, the adult education. Our friend Nancy Leonard here is certainly very, very involved with adult education. There's many, many different ways that people can get involved. It's not all about teaching young children how to read. It's much more expansive than that. So if you'd like to have a few closing remarks, and then I think we'll finish here for this morning.
I did end with my closing remarks in the sense that when we empower girls, we reduce poverty, we strengthen economies, we are ensuring better health. Ultimately, we are also ensuring a better democracy. It's a sense of democracy, sense of having their own right, ensuring that we uphold their dignity. And to me, Rotary has a lot of work that can do. Small projects, but impactful projects. And let's start doing them. Who knows, the next program of scale is for empowering girls. In fact, all of them do empower girls because it's not gender-based at all. But in some areas where there is huge gap, where the gender disparity is huge, maybe there will be a program of scale where we'll ensure that, and that would set an example for others to follow also. Because empowering girls, as I said, is not just about education, it's about justice, prosperity, and it's about the future of our world.
Well said. Thank you so much. And just a plug for Belrag. We have a girls empowerment group that is meeting. Anu Narula is working with the girls empowerment group. And if folks would like to know more information about this topic specifically, they can get in touch with Anu, or they can just get in touch with the Belrag website. And we can share that information, and you can get involved with one of our programs. So, Anu, I'll turn it over to you for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Caroline. What a morning this has been. It has been an exercise in enlightenment, empowerment, and a sense of determination that Shekharji has imparted to us to empower our girls, our families around the world through the power of Rotary and through the power of education. My heart feels inundated with immense gratitude towards past Rotary International President Shekhar Mehta, his wife Rashi Mehta, and their entire family, who I had the honor and the joy of visiting and spending time with during my India trip last year in February. Thank you, Shekharji, for presenting your insightful and inspiring views on the holistic and global, as well as the local vision on girls' education as a tool of community empowerment and economic development. Indeed, when you educate a girl, you empower the whole family, you empower the whole community, and you empower the whole country. Very well said. As we all know already, Shekharji is the pioneer of the girls' empowerment movement in the world of Rotary. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, Shekharji. Today's program would not have materialized without the constant support and endless patience of Shekharji's secretary, Pulokesh Induji, with whom I have communicated for the past 3 months. It is my distinct honor and privilege to thank all of you, all the participants from the Rotary universe and beyond for joining us today. A special note of thanks to all the RI directors who were going to join us today, and I hope they are there, including Elizabeth Usovics and Jeremy Hurst, and many others. Many thanks to the Basic Education and Literacy Rotary Action Group Chair Emeritus Carolyn Johnson and the BELRAC Chair Nancy Leonhardt. 3 of us have been working for the past 3 months to make this program a success. I do want to thank all my friends in the BELRAC Board of Directors, and some of them have joined us today. Brenda and Nellie are 2 names that I just saw. And members of my girls' education team in BELRAC, and the seamless support and their priceless friendship over the years. A special note of thanks to my friends from my home club of Canton, my home district of 6910, and to Rotarians from all 4 corners of India and around the world who have joined us today. A note of thanks to my friends in the Rotary Action Group for Girls Empowerment and all their team members. Your presence and your service to the BELRAC mission and to girls' education as a tool of all-round empowerment at home and around the world is deeply appreciated. A special thumbs up to my student from Government Girls College in Kota, Rajasthan, India, Ratna, also known as my gem, for her sterling role as an educator in India, the cycle of empowerment that Shekharji was talking about. Ratna, Sushmita, and many other emblematic figures whose stories Shekharji has shared today are the icons of women's empowerment. And the cycle of empowerment through Sushmita, my student who is also like my educator now, as the Director of Education in Pune, India. The cycle of education continues. The torch keeps getting passed to younger generations. Wishing Shekharji, his wife Rashiji, and their children and grandchildren a very happy and impactful journey ahead. Also want to thank my sweetheart, my husband, Rotarian Chaitanya Narula, who's on the call, and both our boys, Krish and Rishi, whose support makes me feel empowered to serve in Rotary. I cannot say goodbye to all of you for now on behalf of BELRAC without confessing my admiration for the motto of Unite for Good, imparted to us by current Rotary International President Francesco Arezzo. This motto manifests the collective impact of Rotary projects that Shekharji was talking about, and the timeless significance of service above self as our motto as we serve underprivileged communities around the world. In my consciousness, Unite for Good also bears a poignant resemblance to the Sanskrit shloka of Vasudev Kutumbakam that Shekharji also referred to, which is from the cultural scriptures of my native country, India, and which means we are all one big global family. Amen. Thank you for providing us with this holistic vision of Unite for Good to all the Rotary leaders, including Shekharji. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, a restful night, and a wonderful Valentine's Day weekend to everyone. I'm handing it over to you, Caroline and Nancy.
Thank you, Anu. Once again, thank you so much, President Shekhar. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your words and your wisdom. And I would just encourage folks on the call, if you're not a member of BELRAG, please look into it, belrag.org. And if you'd like to get involved with our Girls Empowerment group, I'm sure I know Anu would welcome your involvement. So thank you very much. Yep, go ahead.
Let me just thank everyone who's involved with the program of Empowering Girls. I just heard that Elizabeth was also online,
Yes.
and I remember having appointed her as the chair for this program around the world, and she did a great job. We had so many ambassadors of empowering girls across the world, and they've been doing a great job. I can see the passion. When I just 2 days back, I met one of them, Kalpana Khand from my neighboring district, and she was so proud that yes, I'm working for this program. Even now, she says I'm working for the Empowering Girls program. So a big thank you to each and everyone who's working for this program. Keep working. We have miles to go before we sleep.
Miles to go and lots of energy to get there. Thank you so much. With
Thank
that, we'll say thank you to everyone who joined us today, and we'll look forward to seeing you getting involved in a Bell Reg program. Thanks again, Shekhar.
Thanks.